last week, was it last week? I introduced you to George AI. Now, what George AI is a proprietary AI system that has a giant electric fence around it. It has everything that the founders from our collection, it will grow from here, but from our collection, it has the writings, the documents, the journals, the books that were written at the time, the books that they read that they said influenced them, the Federalist Papers, all of this stuff, all in one proprietary AI system. And it can't go out and look for other things. It also must memorize everything. Unlike an AI that can hallucinate, they hallucinate because AI is very good at remembering the beginning and the ending, but it's not good at the middle. And so it'll look at the beginning and the ending and like, yeah, and it kind of like went like that. And no, it didn't go like that. Stop being lazy. But ours memorizes every word for word, and it can give you the words from the founders in their own language, which sounds really mechanical and it's really hard to read. Or it can, dumb it down to my level or your level or your kid's level, and it can speak at our level, but it cannot change their words or their meaning. We police this like crazy, and we are not releasing it wide open to the public until we have lots of beta testing. Because we want to make sure we have caught everything, because the last thing we want is anything that is anybody's opinion except for theirs. You'd be able to put in a bill and say, is this constitutional? Where does this violate the founding principles? And it will tell you. You put in a story and say, what are the principles that we lost that are causing this? You can put in, like we talked about today. There was a story about the case that is in front of the Supreme Court right now about, having, some sort of expert running, the administration, and the president and Congress can't fire them. Well, I know the answer to this, but I asked George AI. I put the story in and I said, what did the founders say about things like this? And I asked specifically about the Federalist Papers, and it said, while it doesn't specifically talk about this, it does say X, Y, and Z. And as I explained earlier on the show, it might as well be explicit because it's talking about exactly the same thing. But that's what it does. Now, I released an interview that I did with George, okay? And it's so funny, the reaction, because Adam Kinzinger has just said, this is the stupidest thing I've ever seen, and I was in Congress for 12 years. Oh, well, Adam. Oh, okay, well, I'm going to listen to you. Right Wing Watch, which I think is Soros-funded. Oh, good. Glenn Beck has created an AI George Washington. You'll be shocked to learn that the AI George Washington created by Glenn Beck sounds exactly like what would happen if Glenn Beck built an AI George Washington to sound exactly like Glenn Beck. Impossible. It's not speaking my words. It's only speaking their words. It's impossible. It has no information about me at all. It is a firewall between Glenn AI and George AI. There is a firewall. It has no outside information. It does not know who I am. It doesn't care who I am. It is only focused on their words. Let me play, if we can. Can we play a little bit of what I played, the actual George AI? And I just want to ask yourself, because CNN, in fact, play the CNN clip. CNN led with this last night. Play that, if you will.
The greatest danger to our republic lies not in foreign arms or political faction, but in the decay...
May I just interrupt you for a second? Could you just dumb it down just a little bit?
Okay.
Wow, that is Glenn Beck interviewing an AI version of George Washington, if you couldn't tell, who's apparently ripped now, wearing a tight T-shirt, and he echoes Beck's beliefs. So for tonight's news nightcap...
Stop. He echoes Beck's beliefs. So you cannot say that this is accurate, because then you would have to say, I was right, that I am interpreting the founders in the correct way. So you have to say there's something wrong with this AI. You know nothing about it. There's something wrong with this AI. It can't be doing that. This is just echoing Beck's beliefs. No, it's impossible for that to happen. But they're making this into, the tags on this are right-wing extremists, George Washington extremism. Play the actual George AI clip and tell me what's extremist about anything that he is saying here.
George, we have programmed a lot of information and given you a lot of information on what's going on in today's America. Based on your writings and the writings of the rest of the founders, what is it that you feel is the biggest problem or where we should start to fix things?
If I may speak plainly, my countrymen, the greatest danger to our republic lies not in foreign arms or political faction, but in the decay...
May I just interrupt you for a second? Could you just dumb it down just a little bit?
Okay. I do have 29 points, and they're all referenced to exactly what we said in the
past. For this, just speak in today's language.
Okay. I get it. Let me speak to Americans. If I'm honest, America's biggest problem isn't political or economic. It's all moral. You've drifted from the virtues that make liberty possible in the first place. Freedom. To be free, you have to have discipline. You have to have faith. You have to have character. And if you don't have any of those things, laws can't stop anything. They mean little. Government turns either weak or oppressive. You have grown skeptical of truth. You're reckless with debt. You're comfortable blaming instead of building anything. And in my time, we understood that self-governance begins with self-control. Do you even recognize what self-control is? Public virtue matters more than public opinion. You keep electing these people expecting things to change, but you haven't changed. The fix is not going to be found in Washington, D.C. It's going to be found in every home, every school, every heart. Where are the citizens who value duty over comfort, principle over popularity? America was built to be a moral and self-governing nation. It's only that foundation that will still save her.
Okay, so how is that? Yes, it does sound like me. Yes, it does sound like me. You know why? Because I sound like the founders. That's why. I wish I could say I made all this stuff up. I wish I could say I'm that brilliant that, the Constitution and the founding documents, they all sound like me once you dumb them down. No. I had to work through them, and I dumbed them down so I could understand them. I've been saying them my whole life, and that's why he sounds like me, because I sound like him. But the thing is, it's being labeled as extremism, that we're supposed to be moral. We have to have discipline, faith, character. Is that extreme? That our laws won't mean anything because nothing can hold it together if we're not those things. Government will either become too weak or too oppressive. What do you disagree on that? How do you disagree with that? Are we currently worried that we'll become too weak, or are we currently worried that we're going to become oppressive? I mean, either way, that's extreme, because that's your view in the media, that Donald Trump is becoming oppressive, right? That we're growing skeptical of truth. How does anyone in the media think that that's Glenn Beck, or that's some extreme thing? Yeah, you know it. You know we're skeptical of the truth. You're the ones telling it to us, and you're the ones with a dying rating. So that's clearer. You can't admit that America, agree or disagree, America is skeptical of truth, that we're reckless with debt, that we point fingers to blame. We won't take any personal responsibility for anything. We won't self-govern. We have no self-control, that we look for opinion over virtue, that the answer won't be found in D.C., and that nothing will change unless we change. Wow, that's so unbelievably extreme, isn't it? Let me tell you why there's this thing going around now. I mean, I've released 3 minutes of George AI. Three. Oh, wait until next year. Wait until by this time next year, wait until you see this thing open up full throttle. They are going to wet their pants. So they know exactly what I'm doing. They know they must discredit it because they know the power of AI, because they've been using AI to lie to you, to manipulate you, to use algorithms to do all of that stuff. I'm not using any of those. I'm not pushing this out hoping that anybody will do anything with an algorithm. I want you to find it. I'm inviting you to ask him yourself. When you ask him, you can say, what are all the footnotes? You notice the part they cut out on CNN? He says, I have 26 points and they're all documented to what we said. Yeah, they had to cut that out because I'm providing that every time. Every time you'll be on George AI, every time we'll show you the documents and where it comes from. They can't do that. They rely on opinion. George AI relies on documented fact. And I can't wait for you to be a part of it. Next year, January 5th, it'll make their eyes bleed. And that's, blood is red. Their eyes, the white and the red is like a candy cane. It makes me think of Christmas at this time.
Thank you for thinking for yourself and being part of a movement, because that's really what all of this is. If you want the full story, you want to go deeper, go to blazetv.com/Glenn. Go there right now, sign up, no interruptions, just the truth, uncensored and unfiltered. Don't just watch, take a stand. And I'll see you over there in a minute.